The transfer window is about to slam closed, and at the time we're recording, Manchester United haven't signed any players, but we have been linked to Felipe Anderson, Sadio Mane, John Stones, Neymar, Gareth Bale, James Rodriguez, Ronaldo, Igalo, Hazard, Varane, Niguez, Aubameyang, Hummels, Muto, Vidic, Jake Hesketh, Dragovic, Messi, Goetze, Renato Sanchez, Toni Kroos, Lavezzi, Lukaku, Ricardo Rodriguez, Bentancur, Indy, Neves, and Tahith Chong.
Sure you're not missing anyone there?
Yeah, well done. That was good.
I think that was everybody. So thank you very much. Guys, what do we think? Any of those coming? Anybody else coming? You think they're all coming?
All of them are coming.
Ambitious.
And they're
going to win
be
everything.
on the front of an Apollo Tyres advert by this time.
So, do you feel annoyed that we've not signed anybody? Do you wish we'd gone for one of those players? If so, who would you have liked?
I don't know. I mean, it's in January. It's always hard to sign players, and even the squad we've got. I've seen some people say that Ferguson would even struggle with the squad we've got, and I completely disagree with that. I completely disagree with that because I think that this squad is actually not a bad squad at all. I think it's quite. You know, there are certain parts of it that could be improved, but it's definitely a top 4 squad without a doubt. I think that with the right manager, it'll be challenging for the league. So I don't think that, you know, we necessarily needed to sign too many players. But as the season's progressed, maybe there's a couple of positions that we could have strengthened on. And maybe there are players that may have been available. So obviously none of the big players would have been going, but maybe some players in some of the European leagues, you know, like the likes of Dragovic was a name that was brought up, and I thought that'd have been a nice player to bring in, a defender who doesn't get injured all the time. And, you know, little things like that, but evidently we've not gone in for them. And I actually have a feeling that a lot of the speculation about the manager is true. Yeah, I kind of think that the stuff about the manager is true, and that's affected a lot of the transfer dealings because we've had to sort that out.
Okay, so Pato and Adebayor have both made moves this window. Are we upset we didn't get them?
No,
Falcao like moves they are. And I know I love the Falcao move, and everyone's going to say, Adam, talking shit again. But I mean, you know, Pato hasn't played any top-level football, I think, for a long time. He's been playing in Brazil, where it's a little bit easier. I know it's high quality, but it's a little bit easier than playing in the European top leagues. It's always difficult to sign players in January. That's why you can never really have a goal. But, I mean, our whole transfer policy has been woeful. We knew we needed a centre-back last summer. We didn't get one. We spent half the summer flirting after Sergio Ramos when he probably was never going to come.
Nope.
And I think that's been a big problem with our whole transfer policy. Ed Woodward wants to sign superstars. And you know what? That's good to a certain sense. But we know why he wants to sign them. He doesn't want to sign them because that's what's best for Manchester United Football Club. He wants to sign them because that's what's best for the sponsors. And that's the whole thing with me that I'm just not comfortable with at the moment. We're not making signings. We're not making decisions that are best for the football club. And I know I mentioned this in the preview, but until that happens, we're not going to go anywhere. And like Ray says, we're just going to fall further and further behind our competition. Unfortunately, it seems to be the way at the moment. I want Lukaku, though. And I'd wait until the summer to get him.
In summer, all out for either Lukaku or Harry Kane, but one of them.
Lukaku and Marshall.
I'll be completely honest. There was one transfer this window that I was a little bit disappointed that we didn't get involved in, and that was and first of all, Ben, you've come on Full Time Devils and you've chatted crap straight away. That is Sam Byram. Now, 2 reasons why I thought that actually he could have been a good signing. Number 1, he was 4 million, right? Mm-hmm. Number 2, I thought he was 19. He wasn't. He was 22, so I got that one completely wrong. But he's a fullback with promise, and he's an English fullback with promise. And the fact of the matter is, any transfers we ended up we've in the past we've got from Leeds, they've ended up being relatively good transfers. You know, and for 4 million, you know, he came on and he showed some good promise for West Ham the other day. I mean, I'm not saying, you know, West Ham are playing a good team. But yeah, no, he showed some really good promise, and that is one signing that I'm thinking this window we needed a fullback. He's a youngster.
There's nothing wrong with spending with buying like a player from a team like Leeds if you know you're buying them as your second choice.
Yeah, exactly.
As a second choice right back, and he's young as well, so I'm sure that he won't mind playing.
But lads, what message does that say? I haven't got an opinion on the chat, by the way. Sam Byron or whatever his name is, but. What message does that say when you're signing a 22-year-old fullback when we've got Luke Shaw, who's out injured, who's going to be back and going to be long-term, and then we've got the likes of Varela, Cameron Borthwick-Jackson.
But they're not.
Are they
Ashley Young's playing, Adam. It would have made a lot of sense to buy a young fullback.
I suppose so. Yeah, that's true.
The thing with
manager's
Verona
not really
is
using that. So yeah.
The thing with me for Verona is isn't he 22 now anyway? And for me, he hasn't had as much professional football anyway as Sam Byram. So although he does show some promise, and although he is our backup right back, and he showed a little bit of glimpses and bits and bobs, for me, Sam Byram would have been someone who we could have gone in and got, and he would have filled a void. Even if he came in and he done till summer, and then we sent him out on loan to another Premier League club to get more experience in the Premier League. Right backs develop late. Yeah. I think personally. So, we still might not get the best out of him until he's 25, 26, but at the end of the day, he's a young English man who I think is going to do really well at West Ham.
He's going to be great when we sign him in 4 years.
They've got some good fullbacks, haven't they?
Sadio Mane was another one we were very strongly linked to, weren't we? And someone that seemed like a feasible acquisition because of him currently playing for a Premier League side. Was anybody upset that doesn't seem to have happened?
No.
Why buy Mane when we just leave Memphis on the bench? What's the point? Why buy Mane when we've got Andreas Pereira? Why buy these? This is what frustrates the hell out of me. I understand we do need to make some signings. We need to buy a centre-half. We definitely need to buy a centre-half. We probably need to buy a striker as well. But why are we buying players when we've got players at the club that can do these jobs? This is what frustrates me. Manchester United at the moment, our squad should not be where we are. Harry Redknapp tweeted the other day, Sir Alex Ferguson would be in 6th or 7th with his team.
That was
Are you having large?
Yeah.
No wonder you're out of a job, mate, because you've lost it. Sir Alex Ferguson would have been walking this league with this team, and that's what's frustrating at the moment, that we probably don't need to make any signings to improve things, just to use the players that we've got a little bit better. But we do need a few signings, I do agree. We're not going to make.
Before we wrap this up, I want from each one of you a position and then the ideal candidate. If you were Ed Woodward and you could get somebody signed by the time the deadline closes on Monday, the position and then an ideal player. Adam, go.
If I was Ed Woodward, I'd get a noose and hang myself. But
hope you've enjoyed Full Time Devils. We've really enjoyed making these videos for you. It turns out this is going to be the last one. We've been shut down.
If I was Ed Woodward, I would give Ken Wright a blank check for Romelu Lukaku.
Okay.
And give them Wayne Rooney.
Controversial. Gaz.
You're going to get killed.
Rooney hates that.
If I was Ed Woodward, I'd appoint Eric Cantona and sack myself. But apart from, I'm guessing that I'm not allowed to do that. So I would have Felipe Anderson probably to add us to give us another option on the wings, because it just seems like the players who were playing there can't do anything.
Okay, Ben.
Have I got to be realistic, or can I dream?
You can do what you want.
Okay. Well, I think United needs 2 players immediately, and that's a centre-back and a striker. No, not striker, sorry, a winger. A world-class winger, not someone who's going to sit in the stands, someone who's world-class. No. If there's a chance we get any chance whatsoever that we could sign Gareth Bale, I would have him within a click of a finger. Obviously, it's not going to happen this window, which is why I wouldn't settle with a Mane or, Felipe Anderson. I don't know. We're not going to get anyone. Let me dream of Bale.
Fair enough. I'm not going to stop you. Guys, thank you very much. Let us know what you think about the transfer window, whether you think we've wasted it by not signing anybody, if there's players you think we should have signed. It's very straightforward. You just write with your fingers on the keyboard and the words come out on the bottom of the screen, and then we read them with our human eyes and give you replies if we like them. Thank you very much. See you next time. Right, it is pick the team time, and Ian Smith, believe it or not, won me a point. So it is 7-7. Thank you, Ian.